Right, welcome back. I want to apologise for my tone of voice because I've suffered a family tragedy yesterday, and to be honest, I'm not really in the mood. But I'll explain what I've done so far. So I've started decaling. As you can see by the state of my decal sheet, I've just started the panels for the moment. So there's some decals that have actually got to go on the winglets, as it were, the T-shaped bars, but I couldn't get them to go round, and so I've just decided to paint them in the grey. I've still got to put another couple of coats on. This decal here, that would have gone there. I couldn't get it to Microsol over those two raised bits, so I've decided to put some masking tape on. I'm going to paint that on. But the rest of the decals that I've put on, they've gone down pretty well. They still need a couple of extra coats of Microsol, and I need to jab them to get the Microsol underneath. So that's the T-shaped bars done. So here's some of the decals. Again, they've gone down pretty well. Round the raised sections here, you can see it's bubbled up round the raised section. So I'm probably going to jab these and get the Microsol underneath. On that one as well, same thing on the raised bits. That one there, I've got to jab that one as well. Those two not too bad. There's a bit of raised section on there I've got to deal with. The main ones are these big panels here. Like I said, they haven't gone down too bad, but especially around there, that's got to be jabbed. This decal I had to cut down short slightly because it was too long. That one actually goes over that little lip, and I've got to jab it from both sides to get this salt to go in. That one I had to cut down slightly because, again, that one was too long. That one's got over a bit of raised section there, so that's got to be dealt with. You've got a couple here as well that have gone down really well. That one there, that one there in front of that raised section. You got that's two decals there, and there's a couple here and one there. Like I said, they all need re-microsoling again. So I've put two coats down on so far. The one thing I'm most impressed with is the decal for the windscreen for the gunner area. It's actually two halves. It splits there, and then the other piece overlaps. But I'm quite impressed on how it's gone into the lines. That one's still raised a little, so I might have to jab that again. I have to jab that, and hopefully it'll sink down. Because I think the reason it's not going, I mean, I could probably demonstrate it. You can see there it's still flappy. So it's probably for the tautness of this bit here. I'm probably going to have to jab that so I can get it to go down and then top it up with some paint. But generally, I'm really well chuffed with this. So that's the bottom decals done, and we'll see what happens with the Microsol work and the jabbing. Right, welcome back. Turning the Falcon over, put it back on its feet. Doing all the top larger pan of decals. They've gone down really well actually, not too bad. Few little creases here and there where it goes around the little the square pieces. So I've just jabbed round the square pieces and then put the application of Microsol on again, and it's brought them out really, really nice. The windscreen for the gunner on the top, this one actually went down really well. It went down a hell of a lot better than the one underneath. The applications of Microsol has gone down really well, not too bad. So a couple of the panels I've had to paint on because there was a decal on that, But you can see all them little raised lines. The decal would never have shrunk to accommodate those. So what I've done is I've just painted the grey on that one. Same on this side. There's one here as well I've had to paint. I painted that in the light ghost grey, and then I picked like a slightly darker grey for these two. That one, I don't know why, but that one fell apart on me as I was taking it off a decal sheet, and I managed to put it back together again the best I could. But not gluing down too bad at all. The ones with these lines on, what I had to do is I had to cut the decal in half, put that side on and put that side on, and then just discard the grey that went over the actual line. Same as this red one as well. That one I cut in half and took that down the side there. This bit here with the light ghost grey, that was a decal. I tried to set the decal down, but it wouldn't go over these steps. So I just took the decal back up and then just painted it on with a light ghost grey and a bit of masking tape. Took 2 coats to get that right. Round here, there was a massive crease that was right here. So I've had to jab it slightly, and eventually the crease has disappeared. This is round the radar dish. And that one there, I had to cut that into 2 halves as well. On the mandible, I had to cut that decal into 3 pieces because it had to go over those lines. That was 2 decals. So you've got one here and then one that like goes round the edge and round that corner. And I managed to get the sole to work on that, because there's a lot of, Bandai's decals are very, very stiff indeed. And then it came to the actual clear part. So what I did is I just clicked the clear part into place. I haven't even glued it. It's gone down quite well. There's a little bit of a gap there, but as long as the dust doesn't get in. And then just put in it was one decal that stretched the hole across from one side to the other, so I had to line it up with the window lines. But I've managed to do that pretty well. And then you've got the front one here. Best off turning the flash on. I've got the front one here. That was one decal, and it creased right here in this grey part of the decal. So I just snipped that with my scissors, and then it folded over, and it's gone down really well. There's a little bit of a gap issue there. I could probably top that up with some paint. But generally, the decal on the canopy as well has gone down really well. You can still see inside with me figures because I've got my flash on. And generally, I'm really pleased with this. So that's what it looks like. Now, that's what's left in my decal sheet. I've still got some decals to put on of the large panels, which is mainly the turret area. But unfortunately, I can't do the top one yet, because when I put the small decals on, I've got to turn this over on its back, and the turret will probably snap or like make it like really rocky. So I'm gonna have to do that last. So all those panel decals will end up going on here, as it says on the plans there. You've got like 4 to 5 decals. A little tip for you though, when you come in to mark off your decals to know that you've done them, pencil won't touch the glossy paper, and I didn't want to do a marker or a biro. So get yourself one of these fluorescent pens. I just picked this up from my local news agent, the local stationery shop in Wolverhampton. And like I said, it's just one of those, what's the name, pens, highlighter pen, that's the word I'm looking for. So when you highlight a pen when you're at work, your highlighter line just cost me £1.39. And just it marks it a hell of a lot better than a biro would, and I didn't want to cover up the numbers because you could still see the numbers. Right, so again, that's what's left in my decal sheet, and those are all the tiny decals that I got up on, little markings. It starts at 125 and it ends at 285. There's 165 little tiny markings on here. So just when I thought it was safe to go back in the water after doing that, I've got all these markings to deal with, so I'm not looking forward to this one bit. But with the larger panels, it's made it look really nice, so not too bad at all.